Hello, my name is Joe McDonald, and I am the 30th High Sheriff of Plymouth County. I'm happy to bring back this public service program to inform the public about what is happening here at the Sheriff's Office and around our community. First, a little bit about myself. My career in law enforcement spans 29 years. 9 years as an assistant DA here in Plymouth County, and during that period of time, I prosecuted cases in all of the district courts here in Plymouth County and in Superior Court as well. In 2004, I was lucky to be elected sheriff. Personally, I am a lifelong resident here of Plymouth County. I am a graduate of Marshfield High School, which is where I grew up. I am a graduate of the University of Massachusetts at Amherst and Suffolk University Law School in Boston. I was also blessed to continue my training at the National District Attorney's College down at the University of South Carolina. I was a graduate also, I am a graduate also of the 88th session of the National Sheriff's Institute in Longmont, Colorado. And I was very lucky to be chosen to go down to the FBI Academy at Quantico for their LEADS, Law Enforcement Executive Development Seminar Program at Quantico, Virginia. So I've kept up with a lot of these things locally. I've done a lot of training through our MPTC, through the National Sheriff's Association, through the Massachusetts Sheriff's Association, but also through the FBI. I was able to take several seminars, still through the Law Enforcement Executive Development Seminar Series, and 2 years ago I was the recipient of what is known as the Trilogy Award. So I was able to add that to my resume as well, and it was wonderful, wonderful training. Got to keep on that. Keep it up, keep the training going. Now, many people ask me as I travel throughout the community, what is the Sheriff's Office all about? What do you guys do? I see you out there sometimes. I see your deputies and your officers out there sometimes. Primarily what the Sheriff's Office is responsible for is the care and custody of inmates and detainees at the county level. Now this would be, we've got about 800 individuals residing in the correctional facility, and those are divided amongst state, county, and we do hold federal inmates and detainees as well. And our numbers right now are somewhat lower than they have been historically. Our numbers have been as high as 1,700 individuals. This is in the pre-COVID days. Plymouth County Correctional Facility is very highly regarded and has been since before I was the sheriff. I do have to say that that's a credit more so to the wonderful and professional staff that we have, more so than it is to me. Historically, all of your notorious mafia figures have been held there on behalf of the United States Marshal Service. Some of those individuals, Cadillac Frank Salemi, the Richard Reed, the shoe bomber, was held there, and everyone knows Whitey Bulger was held there as well. And they were held safely, they were held securely, and it's a testament really, again, to the men and women that work in our correctional facility every day. So that's a wonderful thing. As time has gone on, some of the programs that we have historically offered, one of the things that I think is a great advantage to your local sheriff's office, which runs the jails and the House of Correction, as opposed to like state prison, is our ability to provide rehabilitative programming for incarcerated individuals to give them better options, hopefully, when they leave our custody and get back out into the world. And we want to make sure that they've got the training that they need, that they've been able to deal with a lot of those issues that found their way into their lives that caused them to end up engaging in criminal activity, that caused them to end up residing with us for a period of time. So I think it's incumbent, not just on us in Plymouth County, but all the sheriffs do a great job with this. Getting that training done, and then the reentry process, which is a big thing, and hopefully we'll hear more about that in future programs. We'll be able to talk about our reentry services, but the most important thing that we can do is to try to, as I said, give those skills to our inmates as they are with us, but also to create an environment when they get back into the community where their services are going to continue. Things like that we most often take for granted, like health insurance, residential services? How are they going to be able to find employment? And we can help with those things. And that's really, I think, a very, very big part of my responsibility, my job as the sheriff. And our staff takes that very seriously, and they do a good job. And I will say all of the sheriffs in Massachusetts do a great job with this. Some of the things that we have talked about in the past, and I think they bear repeating, is when I was an assistant DA, I used to once in a while be asked, how many individuals end up in the criminal justice system because of substance abuse or drugs or alcohol, and I used to think, well, that's easy enough to quantify because you can look at the statistics and see who's charged with the possession of drugs, who's charged with the distribution of drugs or the manufacture of drugs, and you could quantify those things. But as I worked as a prosecutor, I gradually came to understand, and I understand now as the sheriff, and I think it's important for us to realize as a society that really I think most of the people that become criminal justice involved have at one point in their lives been affected by substance use issues. And it's important for us to deal with all of those. So one of the things that we're doing, not just in Plymouth County, but all of the sheriffs, we're talking about the MOUD, the medication-assisted treatment of individuals who present to us who are dealing and battling with those substance use issues. We have to help them get those issues under control, and then provide them those services that will give them the best chances of success when they leave our facility and go back into the community. If we can keep them free of those substances, and if we can give them the skills that they will need to get jobs, to get gainful employment, legitimate gainful employment, I think we're doing our jobs, and I think that's very important for us. Some of the other things, though, that people might not know about that we do, we team up with the District Attorney's Office. As people know, you often see me with District Attorney Cruz out in the community. Not only are we social friends, we play on the same ice hockey team, but we socialize and play a lot of sports together. And we have a lot of fun. We're friends. And I think that makes our jobs a little bit easier. And I don't say that they're easy, but I think it allows us to team up in a way that doesn't happen in all places. And I think people feel that and see that and appreciate that. So we team up with the DA's office to sponsor many times a year now. We're the first ones to do this, these Corey-friendly job fairs. And what those are, there's a lot of employers right now in our communities that are certainly really needing individuals who are willing to take jobs and work. Those employers that are willing to overlook certain transgressions in people's histories, they come to us, and we have been very successful. And not only do we offer it to individuals who are currently incarcerated or recently incarcerated, but we offer it to the community at large. And I think it's important for us to help those people to get gainful employment, because I think to the extent that people are gainfully employed, they are much less likely to engage in criminal activity, which I think is one of the biggest aspects of our job. So we do that. One of the things that we've attempted to get off the ground, and then COVID hit us, is the aspect of the trades. There's a lot of individuals that can, while they are with us, begin some training programs within the trades, construction trades, plumbing, electricians. And when those individuals realize that they can make a very good living doing those things and not having to worry about the police or criminal activity, it really works out. Some of the other things, though, that people ask us about sometimes, what else? I see that, you guys have a civil process division. That division is located over in the city of Brockton, adjacent to the courts over there. And what our civil process, that's one of our traditional duties as the sheriff. We are the postman, essentially, of the court system. So we end up serving legal documents, mostly to parties in civil lawsuits. And the fees for those civil lawsuits are paid by the attorneys and the plaintiffs. And that's how we fund that operation. It's no cost to the taxpayers. Another thing that people see driving around the county, you see our canine units. Now, the canine units are very, very important for what we do for perimeter security at the jail. Also, in the instance that, God forbid that someone were to go missing, those canines can be useful for apprehending fugitives or lost adults or children. And those services are provided to our communities also at no additional cost to them. They all train together, the canine units from the towns and our canine units. It's really been a great program, and again, that predates my presence as sheriff, but I like to think that we have strengthened that and really grown that program quite substantially. Most recently, though, and a lot of folks really like this, the district attorney's office has stepped in with some grant money for many of our local police departments, and we have joined them with the Comfort Dog programs. We have a Great Dane Comfort Dog. Our Comfort Dog is Star, and she provides therapy to those suffering from trauma, both young students and really anybody, adults, anybody, seniors that is having a difficult time in their life for whatever that reason might be. We do a lot of events at the senior centers, we do a lot of events at the schools, and those have been very, very well received, and people appreciate that. Another thing that people see is our field service unit. And what field service is just what it sounds like. This is out ranging within the community. We're providing a large array of support services for larger events, you know, things like the Marshfield Fair, the 4th of July parades that they have in many of the towns, including Plymouth, the St. Patrick's Day parade that takes place in the town of Scituate, the Plymouth fireworks. And that's the department under which you would see our deputy sheriffs in the community working those security details. And our mobile command center is part of that. You know, we can provide basically a headquarters that moves around from event to event as our local towns need that. So this has been a really great thing for us. We also have drones, and I know a lot of people right now, this is a somewhat new technology, at least as far as the use of it for looking for individuals that might have gone lost for whatever reason. So it's really been a great technology for us, and hopefully, you know, as time goes on, we will be debuting more new and innovative things through our field service unit, and we could do a whole show on those, and I'm hoping that at some point in time I'll be able to do just that, to tell you a little bit more about it. We have a communications center that not only handles for our agency, our dispatching, but we also now do all of the 911 calls for the town of Plymouth. That's something that we've been doing for just over the last year. Things have worked out very well over there. Response time has decreased substantially, and it's worked out as a great partnership with us in the town of Plymouth. There are a number of other programs that we do through there. Safety assurance is through our communications department. Last year, they made over 26,000 safety assurance telephone calls. Recently, they had a woman client who was on oxygen and she was having trouble breathing. An immediate medical assistance call was made and provided, and we're happy to report that she made a full recovery. Our community outreach team is also part of field service. They will go out and do presentations, and oftentimes I'm lucky to join them. They talk to the elderly folks about scams that are going on in the community. That's important for us to know. These are wonderful things. The safety net program that we have, that's essentially an electronic tracking program that can be used for autistic children or elders, anybody that wanders, and we've had a number of saves with that as well. Our BCI, you probably have seen those units driving throughout the county. BCI stands for Bureau of Criminal Investigations. The great thing about the Bureau of Criminal Investigations, and I get a lot of questions about this, and again, maybe we should dedicate, I think, a whole show to exactly what they do. They are essentially the ones that provide the CSI services to our local police departments that enhances all of the detective units for our local police, and it's been a wonderful partnership. And again, that predates me, but we're going to continue with that. We do a lot of training through there for our officers, de-escalation skills. It's really our training division, and again, we could probably do a whole show, and maybe we should, about our training unit and the training that goes into creating the various specialties from corrections to BCI and what those officers are all about. So for more information about the Sheriff's Office and our programs, please go to our website, which is www.pcsdma.org. And now I'll turn it over to ADS Hickey and Captain Rose, who will tell you about our farm at 74 Obery Street and the fun family activities it provides for young and old alike.
Hi, I'm Assistant Deputy Superintendent John Hickey with the Plymouth County Sheriff's Department. We have several opportunities for the public to join us and several things that we'd like to tell you about today at the farm. To tell you a little bit about myself, this is my 31st year working for the Plymouth County Sheriff's Department. I started in 1994 as a correction officer. I became a lieutenant, moved on to captain, eventually was a shift commander, and then moved out to the farm approximately 6 years ago. The farm is over 100 years old. It was first designed to feed the inmates inside the correctional facility.
So the farm it's a working farm for the inmates. Without the inmates,
we would struggle to get everything done, all the tasks.
We wouldn't be here right now.
They are a vital part of the operation, and it is an inmate work program. It's part of their rehabilitation to get back into society. And the tasks that they are assigned, they find great value in, and really a sense of pride. And some of the skills that we've utilized with them are carpentry skills to repair some of our aging buildings, and gardening skills. Obviously the labor that they provide, Dave, is on the back on my end on the farm. And for you with the aquaponics, you've had a couple of guys that have been very helpful to you.
We're basically teachers out there. We're teaching these guys how to perform jobs and how to get jobs in the future, stuff that they never knew before. Like the aquaponics is something, it's not really new, but it's a new concept that is being brought upon us, and they're going to need more and more of these individuals to go out there and learn this stuff, and the workforce is going to need them.
In the back, as far as from the animal perspective, the inmates, as I let them know, that the animals rely on them. And so for clean water, for food, to get them into their shelters. And that's something that the inmates take with them when they go back into society.
Right.
Caring for someone, understanding that someone relies on you, and that you are important. Over the years, we introduced a dairy farm, and that operated for several years as well. Eventually, the milk was processed and sent out throughout the state correctional facilities. The farm is approximately 95 working acres at this point. We lease the land from the County of Plymouth. Each year, we harvest vegetables. We harvest approximately 20,000 pounds each year. Our record year was 2022, when we harvested 31,000 pounds of vegetables. The types of vegetables we have are squash, cucumbers, zucchini. We do some other beans and corn. We also manage a herd of animals. In the back of the farm, we have 30 beef cattle. The cattle are belted Galloways. It's a breed that came over approximately 25 to 30 years ago from Europe. It's a very hardy animal, and the reason that we use this animal is because they self-sustain very well. We feed them in the morning, check on their overall health, make sure they get sprayed for flies in the summer, and it's an animal that does very, very well in the harsh conditions of the New England winters. Some of the other things at the farm that we have available, a petting zoo. The petting zoo has several animals, and it's really a wonderful opportunity for the children to come and enjoy, and families to have picnics. Among those animals are sheep, goats, chickens, miniature donkeys, miniature horses, and cows. I'd like to tell you a story about one of our cows. It's William. William was a cow that was neglected by his mother, and I contacted the local 4-H, Megan Conley Riley. She's been a wonderful resource for the department. Megan came and rescued William, and William was bottle fed up until about 6 months of age, until he returned to the farm. Right now, William is still with us, and he is as friendly as a dog. He's basically domesticated. The children are able to go up and pet him, play with him, feed him grain, and he's a wonderful asset to the farm. We also have an agreement with the Plymouth County Beekeepers Association. The beekeepers have hives located at the rear of the farm, and they assist us in pollination. It's a wonderful partnership, and the beekeepers come and check on their hives weekly. I'd like to acknowledge a couple of local farmers that have been instrumental in helping us on the farm. Jeff and Priscilla Chandler from Duxbury, who are involved in the 4-H program, and Dan Ferran from Plymouth, who's been a valuable asset to me in helping raise the livestock. My background is not as a farmer, so it's been a learn-on-the-job type of transition for me over the past 6 years. I rely heavily on the farmers in the community to help me make the farm as prosperous as possible. Sheriff McDonald is a wonderful resource for the farm, and he is really the backbone to my operation, and I can't thank him enough. He's given us all the equipment that we need, the manpower, and in order to get to our ultimate goal, it takes a lot of teamwork, and the sheriff is at the forefront of the teamwork. So I applaud the sheriff and his staff and the folks over with the sheriff in the administration building, everyone from finance and accounts payable, accounts receivable. They are all part of the end product that we have at the farm, and it makes our success move forward. We appreciate it.
Hi, I'm Captain Rose. I've been with the department for 36 years. I've been out on the farm for 6 years, 2 years as a captain. I currently run the greenhouses. We have 8 greenhouses full of flowers every year. We also have a hydroponics and aquaponics greenhouse that we grow lettuce year-round in. This year we've donated approximately 3,000 heads of lettuce that go to the local food banks and local veteran food drives. We also plant mums in the fall. We've planted 8,500 mums this year. The sales have started today. This is one of the mums that we planted. This is some of the other stuff that we've grown. This is the hydroponic lettuce over here to my left.
Can you tell us a little bit about our partnership with the folks at 100 Gardens, Dave?
Oh yeah, so 100 Gardens came in and started this program with us. They're a wonderful group out of North Carolina. Taught us how to grow hydroponically and aquaponically. So aquaponically it's a system grown with fish, and the fish actually fertilize the water that fertilize the plants, and then the plants actually clean up the water. They go back to the fish. So they taught us that process, and they've been wonderful and instrumental in getting this program going.
How about telling us a little bit about our partnership with Terracura and Jackie?
Oh, Terracura. So Terracura, they have their own community gardens throughout Plymouth County. So they use no pesticides and no fertilizers. Everything there is organically, and we partner with them. We actually started a 3 Sisters garden out front with them this year, which is there's stalks of corn with beans growing up around the corn, and on the outside is squash. They also have 3 raised bed gardens. We hope to see you head out to the farm and visit us. If you're looking for more information and hours of operation, you can go to our website, which is www.pcsdma.org/farm.
So I take great pride in all of the officers and administrative staff and civilian employees who work hard at the Sheriff's Office to maintain an exceptionally high standard. They are exceptionally good people, and we are very, very blessed here in Plymouth County to have them. Thank you.